Hey, Michael, I was looking at this today. Yeah, and is there any good audio? I found some audio, but it's horrible. Did anyone clean it up?
They did. Somebody did. There's been another transcription of that, right? That's the original one.
Yeah.
But there's been one since then that's based on a another tape, and it's better. I mean, it's better in the sense that it's more full, more accurate.
Do you know where one might find that?
I don't know, but we have the internet, Paul. We can find anything in 30 seconds, you know.
Well, if you can, turn me on to it. I was about to
Check it
scan
out.
this.
You can check it out. There's a lot of stuff happening. John Felice is editing a new edition of the Special View of History um, that Ralph actually was involved in putting together, Ralph Maud, before he died. And the Station Hill people, George Quasha and Susan Quasha, and me and Miriam and Sharon, no, not Sharon, Miriam and Miriam Nichols and Chuck Stein and somebody else are putting out a 75th anniversary edition of Projective Verse.
You're running out of time.
This is the 75th. I know it's got to get out soon, right?
Yeah, I was going to say. Hmm.
Yeah, there were issues.
Paul,
Yes,
Paul, I,
Julia.
I wonder if Penn Sound would have anything.
That's a good.
Of the
Also,
yeah, I'm sure they must.
by the way, I pulled out, those little books that uh, Amiel did of Diane de Prima's
Yeah.
Lost and Found editions. The one on there's one on HD called, I don't know, Mysteries of Vision, some notes on HD, and then there's another one called RD's HD. And in that one, I don't remember who it was, but somebody in an earlier session wanted to know if HD's, um, what can I say, magical practices were real practices. And the group's answer was more or less no. But she takes issue with that in this essay and indicates that the pine cone burning in a small dish, etc., are actual descriptions of invocation and whatever else. More importantly, she points out that Robert's attitude toward her being his poetic master, as was Levertov for some time, um, that his idea of a master is that you take what you like from them and you leave the rest.
Take what you need, leave the rest.
um, and of course, Diane, being a devout Tibetan Buddhist, you take the master whole, so to speak. You don't pick and choose. I like this about the Dharma, but I don't think that really fits me. And so I can't remember who it was, but whoever it was in the group who was prying into that question, I think might find some interesting uh, information in Diane's. It's not exactly a rebuttal, it's an observation made over years and years of working closely with him at New College.
It's terrific. It's terrific. It's Diane, like it's bringing to bear her incredible intelligence and her
Mhm.
wide-ranging reading and her huge heart, you know? It's
Yeah,
beautiful. And yeah, I mean, I learned a lot from that. Um,
they are really beautiful essays, and I guess they're in what's this man's name? Stephen Cologne. I guess they're in his book, um, probably in conversations with Diane Prima. I read the other book, which is supposed to be Hidden Religions and Magic or something. And I must say, um, it's very bad writing. It's just boring as hell.
yes, and that's important. That's really important. It is.
God, I mean, he makes this woman dull, and
Yeah,
you have to work to make
yeah,
DePrima's life dull.
yeah. Well, they teach you how to do that in grad school.
I guess so. God, I was so, I thought, good Lord, I'm glad I didn't do that.
Hey, Julia, I think it took me about 15 years to finally undo the last grad school writing thing that they had, inculcated in those years at Buffalo. Like it's it's pernicious. It's really
Well,
pernicious.
it's so sad. I went to New College cold without any under undergrad work, and it was hell because I was learning everything at once, and it was mountainous,
Yeah.
and I often felt, you know, ill-equipped. But as I have aged, I have realized how lucky I was and how lucky to have missed the earlier indoctrination so that I literally didn't know any better. And I have young people around me now who are looking for their next step, finish Davis and want to go on for an MFA, and I shudder at what will happen to them.
Yeah.
But I don't know anywhere to send them.
Yeah. Well, they'll either find their way through it or they won't. I mean, that's
Well, you quoted the Lost and Found series, and I think that CUNY is doing some remarkable work, and the people coming out of CUNY are doing remarkable work. So that would be one of the,
That's a good idea.
yeah,
Thank you.
that's one of the places I would look in Emil Alcalay. Is
Unless you want to start a university, Paul.
Well, we've started. There are education opportunities. There are, our festival, Cascadia Poetry Festival is a conference, essentially is a conference. I was told to call it a festival when we started, so we called it a festival. But we have panels that are really intelligent, and that audio or the video is getting online as soon as my administrative assistant Veronica edits the panels and readings and gets those online. So I guess this could start my announcements, and we'll start the tape maybe from here, so we don't have to deal with any. Um,
Let me just say, Lost and Found is a meal. It's totally a meal from beginning to end. It's a meal alkali. Um, I mean, I don't know what, I mean, CUNY may provide some money, but that's a meal's mind.
yeah,
And
absolutely. And CUNY is the the vehicle for him, but
yeah,
it's definitely he is the construct and the visionary, and it's very, very high quality work. And we hope to have a DePrima workshop by a CUNY grad, Irish Cushing, here in the next year. We also
wow, that'd be
have,
great.
yeah, the mystical Diane DePrima. And Michael, we'd like you and Sharon to do a workshop on the Clark lectures on Blake and Olson. And you're coming to our festival in October 9, 10, 11 in Rainier Beach neighborhood of Seattle. So, so we're doing some things in that area, but becoming an official university is,
Oh,
I'm
no,
sick.
you don't want to do that.
No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
You don't want to do that.
But I appreciate the suggestion that we might be capable of something like that, but we're not. And I'm 64, so I'm starting to figure out I've got to start picking some things and being a little more selective.
The people who come to you right now are people who love poetry and love the work, and they're not expecting to get a job out of it or, you know,
No,
Right. Yeah. We opened up our we're starting week two, or we're just about to start week two in a workshop that's going over history of North American poetry and with a eye towards um, more projective oriented poets, and that's happening. And then we're going to do innovative Cascadia poetry next March. Matt has his Thinking With series happening next year, January, and Harold Renish is going to be doing a very Cascadia poetry oriented workshop. So CascadiaPoeticsLab.org and my own site, paulinelson.com, has information on a workshop that will help people understand the day song concept, this thing that Bernadette Mayer did with Midwinter Day and what Pierre Joris did with his Canto Diurno, a day-long writing ritual. So writing a poem for as long as you can in one particular day and preparing for it, doing it as a ritual. And those workshops are free with a suggested donation and coming up in January. So those are the announcements, Cascadia
that's
Poetics
great.
Lab. It's going to be fun, I think. And I've got a book of 4 day songs coming out next year through Carbonation Press. This is, I guess we don't have our full complement of folks. I think maybe they're done with the HD book. I don't think you can ever really be done with the HD book, but maybe they're just done with the workshops. But here we are, due to popular demand, week 6, and I hope the layoff gave you enough time to get into it a little deeper. And I'll just turn it over to Michael for what he wants to say. I do have the PDF queued up, so if we were to read a couple of passages, that would make me happy. And Michael, it's all yours.
well, I'm going to turn it over to you guys. Like, what do you want to talk about? Like, this is sort of, we tacked this on because people felt they didn't have time to finish reading. Anybody want to raise something? I mean, I can start blabbing. Oh no. Julia, are you waving or is that you're just trying to
No,
eject?
I'm sick in bed,
Okay.
so I'm not in my
Well, there's a
usual.
shift. There's a big shift from the first part of the HD book to the
Yeah.
second part of the HD book. The first part of the HD book is primarily written in essay forms, investigative essays, where Duncan takes like crucial pressure points in our our understanding of the world, like as a whole, like as a being in the world. And he expounds those essays into a rediscovery of the world. Um, he manages to work through all of the forms that are given, all the given world, to reveal behind that, or within that, or somehow buried by that, there's these other realities of eros and being together and every aspect of the world. It's like a whole new world that he discovers. And while he's doing that, he's also discovering or writing an entirely new literary history. One that when he started this book, there were, a few women considered worthy of being in the canon that the English department, the reading list that they mistake for a canon. And he, like that would have been what, Virginia Woolf, um, who else? Gertrude Stein, maybe, um, but certainly not H.D., not Mary Butts, not Dorothy Richardson. God, I mean, even now, like who reads Dorothy Richardson? But the thing is, he turned, he opened up, he split it open. He just split it open and out poured this whole other history that was driven by women writers. So even as he's opening up his own perception of the world and opening up the world itself in a you know a pursuit of truth. He's revealing these hidden orders that resonate all the way from, who invented modernism or who pioneered, who thought up these forms that constitute this new mode of writing, this new address to the world in the early 20th century. And what were they, and through that, this revelation of this other way of seeing the world. So that's the first part of the book. And then in the second part of the book, which we are talking about now, I mean, we can talk about anything now, but in the second part of the book, he takes that new understanding, that new visionary stance, and he applies it to reading HD's work and to one of the things, the way that it starts out that's fundamentally different is that it's dated. It's a day book. It's not a penetrating intellectual unfolding of this structure of whatever. This is what happened when I woke up this morning and I had this fragment of dream and I was rubbing HD's back. Um, and that's crucial because it makes time part of the actual engagement with thinking. It brings time back into the equation. Yeah, Jay.
That actually touches on the passage that I have my book open to here, which is 494. He has a whole little meditation on time that uh, I just thought I would bring up because it's exactly what you were just talking about.
Yeah, no, that's great. Like, you want to pull that up, Paul? 494. Oh yeah.
It's the whole thing, but I guess he really starts talking about time. Through time, this fabric extends. It is my own creation as I make it. But then he's got an interesting little section right above that on Virginia Woolf too.
Do you want me? Okay, I'll read it. What I'm trying to get
494.
across is that just as there are threads weaving HD's trilogy, The Walls Do Not Fall, Tribute to the Angels, and The Flowering of the Rod, to form a moving coherence out of and into the lore of the human past. In art, what Schrödinger called in physics an aperiodic solid, a ministry of sympathies. So the three works are in turn one articulated cell of a larger fabric. These almost extraneous sorts I have drawn out of Virginia Woolf and Joyce, out of Baudelaire, out of my dreams, the Sally Rand theme, then, and the aroused being a key to remember, aroused as well as excited and inspired, refer to some larger form or soul self, of which all of HD comes to be a part, to which I belong, in which I have my present presence or womb of myself. Wow. Through time, this fabric extends. It is my own creation as I mistake it. I have never found another human being who does not exclude from his fabric some star of first magnitude in mine, who does not include in first magnitude some blind spot or aversion of mine. Yet just this tissue is the cosmic extension of the aperiodic solid of me. These are the works whereby I have come to know the work. Thus have I bound Tiamat in this series. Out of these stuffs come into my code script. That's probably enough, eh? It's the other aspect of time, of course, is that it's a it forces us to be in relation to our finitude. That is to say, what's true 1 minute, what we know 1 minute is not what we know 5 minutes later. And in that difference lurks the finitude of our relation to the world, that we don't hold, grand his Duncan in any case is not interested in grand historical ideas that are, somehow permanent, platonic. He's interested in coming to something and working it. And this is what he does over and over. He gets the dream, the dream about the hand on HD's back. And then he lets it sit for a while. And then he comes back to it again. And then he comes back to it again and again. People accused him when this book came out of being repetitive, and they completely missed the point that, of course, it's repetitive. That's the fundamental method, and that every time you come back to it, there's more that's revealed, more that's revealed. It's like a unfolding a palimpsest where there's layers of meaning that there is no meaning with a big M. There's only meanings that we encounter in pursuit of them, and they change. They change all the time. So that's for me, in any case, that's the fundamental lesson that from the second book, is that in time, you can never possess the meaning. All you can do is do the work. And the work is that you come back to it, and you come back to it, and you come back to it. That's your dedication. And that's what he does. I just love that Sally Rand stuff. The way he tracks it down. He it's all about the unconscious, right? But he doesn't get into the jargon. It's a fact, an ongoing revelatory fact. That he's dedicated to unraveling. It's like you've got the thread leading into the labyrinth, but it never actually gets to the